So it's the afternoon of the day after I recorded my first video about this parking brake, and I went online. I looked at as many videos as I can. I found a great video by Chris Fix all about this. So what I'm missing here is my parking brake link that should go between here, a bit of metal with a spring on it. And then behind this, I'm assuming in this hole here is where it clips in, is the actual lever for the parking brake itself. And then this hole here is going to have the cable come in with the spring attached to the bottom of that lever, pull that out, and then that will push both shoes out. That makes sense to me. I went ahead and bought this brake clean stuff because I want to clean out some of the gunk in here. Okay, so I went down to the parts store and they basically were not helpful. This bar here, they can't get at all apparently, and the parking brake lever they looked for but couldn't find it. They said I might need to just completely replace the shoes, and that would have to be done on both sides, but I was able to find the bar online. So because that means ordering parts online, that's going to take time to arrive. So I'm going to go ahead and probably put the wheels back on, reassemble the brakes and everything, because I need to take this in a couple days down to, I think 3 days, down to the store that did the transmission so that they can check them for the warranty. So obviously I can't drive this with the wheels off, so I figure if I put this back on and then I drive it down there, I can also have them retorque the wheels at the same time so they can undo what basically how tightly they put them on there with the air gun. So if I do that, this should be fine. Then I can bring it back, put it back up on the jacks when those parts arrive, and then there's no time crunch.
Okay, so this clip here is actually holding the parking brake cables. This one here goes to the left, the one that I've been working on. It's pretty badly busted. And then up here, this one right here is actually a broken bit of cable. It's the head, like this bit here on this cable. So I need to break that out.
Alright, so over here is the hanger. There's that bit there. I've got it moving, but it's still a little bit, these flared bits are causing problems. This cable here connects into that brake, and actually this bit here is what the end of this cable down here will attach into. So I got the broken cable head out of the way. Alright, there it is sticking through. Okay, so this is the link that I've just removed here. This cable here runs off to the brake, and that one goes off to the handbrake itself. So this one here is the replacement. This side basically goes through there and needs to be attached to that clip right there. Okay, so this linking bit here is pretty rusted, but I need to get it undone in order to replace the cable.
Okay, so as you can see, I managed to get that piece out. Now I just need to remove the cable from it.
Okay, so here I have hooked it up to that cable that I threaded through there. That's where the one that goes in, and then I need to hook up the cable from here into the drum brake.
Okay, so this end of the cable here without the spring clips in here where the other one was, and this end will go through this hole here. Okay, so that end is clipped in, and this bit here can move freely through this hole. Okay, so this springy end here needs to go through this hole. So let's, just like that. Like that. And then this will actually connect up into here, but I'm thinking this might be a bad idea to hook this up to put this through this hole without hooking it up to anything, because it would have to go around here. It could potentially get in the way of the brake operating properly, now that I see it here. So I'm going to tuck it up out of the way, kind of like the other one was up here. Okay, so I've got this cable here, and it needs to hook up onto this one here, but they don't reach. So here you can see where that actual fork goes to in the lever. It's right where that pin is. It's definitely worth noting here that this appears to be perfectly functional, but because I already bought the part a long time ago, I can't return it. I might as well put in a new one. Why not? So there's this little pin and washer here that I just removed from this pin here. It's kind of hard to show, but that should allow me to get that fork out. Okay, so I pulled the whole thing out here. I've just disconnected this indicator light, and it seems like that bolt also needs to come out. Okay, so here you can see how this is actually held in place. It's clamped in here. So I got to remove this one more bolt, and then I can replace this cable. So this part was pretty hard to pull apart because it had been clamped together for so long, but eventually I got it. Okay, this thin cable here is the middle bit that connects the lever cable to the one that I hooked up over here. And I disconnected it from this one here, which goes directly up to that cable, so I just need to break off that little flange there and it should work fine. Okay, lots of WD-40, lots of elbow grease, and lots of rust later. And here we go. Okay, so here's that cable there. Right on. So I fed this through the hole underneath the dash here that the original one came through. I'm now going to try and reassemble the lever and put it back. Alright, so the lever is now fully hooked up. I reattached the light and everything. Seems to be working alright. And right now it's just sticking out here, so I'm going to thread it down and under the vehicle.
So there's the open hood there. Here is where it needs to go through, this little hole right here. And then, just like before, I need to fit that into the little hole so it sits there snugly. So there we go, that's in there nice and firmly.
So I've just taken the end and put it into this clip for that middle cord. Now that should be able to hook up all the way down there. Okay, so this is the only thing that I can think of to get this to work, because you need to haul on this as hard as you can, and you need to haul on this as hard as you can, and then you need to screw in a nut, so hopefully this works. Okay, I finally got it in. It's super tight, and I did it by putting the clamp on that side there, and that seemed to work. So let's release that. Okay, so I've just put the drum back on here, and now I'm going to basically do what I did yesterday in reverse and put the wheels back on. Okay, so I'm putting this stuff back in here, and I'm wondering, I have axle oil, and this is what I mean. It's unopened. Is this something that I'm supposed to basically like lube? I don't know what this is for, but these were all greasy, and so was the axle insert here, this thing. Do those need to be greased up before they go in here? If so, is that the right stuff? Somehow I don't think so, but yeah, just a question for you guys if you know the answer. So I've just bought a new seal here for this because the orange one looked really bad. It was a bit beat up, so this is only like $4, so should be good. Okay, so I've put the axle back in and just tightened these up here with the new seal in place right here. So I think now I can put the wheels back on. Alright, so the wheel's back on. It's just hand tight. I'm going to lower it or get it off the jacks, and then I will torque them up. Alright, so this is on the ground, and I've torqued all of the lug nuts to the best of my ability right now. The only thing I have left to do is to actually take that cable there and tie it up. Okay, so here you can see that I've looped that around out of the way. There is one thing that concerns me, and that was how hard it was for me to put this in. I'm a little worried that the parking brake will actually be activated right now on those two tires over there. I'm not sure. So if anyone knows the answer to that or how I can check, please let me know. Okay, so this is the end of day 2 on this parking brake project, and yeah, wow, this is a lot of work. So I now know what the parts are that are missing inside of the drum brake there, and that's the actual lever for the parking brake and the bar or whatever you call it. And then I ran all new cable except for that middle bit through, and I'm a little bit worried, like I said, that it might be too tight, and I don't really have a way of loosening it considering how tight that is. So yeah, if anyone knows anything about that, again, that'd be awesome. Or anything else, this is a learning experience for me. I said that last video, and yeah, I'm just kind of going along with things and watching videos and just trying to figure it out. So basically my homework right now is to try and find those parking brake parts rather, and then on the 30th I will bring this into the mechanic to have it looked at for the transmission problem, or not problem, sorry, warranty. The problem's fixed. And after that, then I will come back and continue working on this.